Very good evening. Welcome to Einstein Education Channel. This is Mr. Ravinder Singha. In the previous class, we discussed about the growth and development and maturation and various developments. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the general principles of growth and development. Okay, coming to the first principle, that is principle of continuity. Principle of continuity, nothing but development is a continuous. Development is from mother's womb to tomb. So the development starts from the mother's womb and ends from the tomb. So that's why the first principle is known as the principle of continuity. So growth and development is nothing. Development is nothing but it is a continuous process. So because it is an internal process. And second one, the principle of individual differences. So development shows the individual differences. Development is not the same in every person. It shows the individual differences. For example, if we take the personality of an individual, there is a lot of difference between two persons in the personality. One may be split personality, one may be maladjustable personality, and one may be dynamic personality. So at the same time, if we take the intelligence, so the intelligence is not the same between the two persons. One may be average, one may be below average, one may be gifted, one may be above average. So that's why there is a lot of difference between the two persons in different aspects. So that's why development shows the individual differences. So that's why the second principle is principle of individual differences. And next one, the principle of heredity and environment. So heredity, both heredity and environment factors are most important factors that influence the human growth and development. So if we take the heredity, that is also important because the genes transmit from one generation to another generation, that is known as heredity. So sometimes the characteristic features like clever, intelligence, personality, like that, those factors will be transmitted from hereditarily. So in the same manner, environment also plays a vital role in human development, because environment is very important in the human development. Why? Because it shows a lot of impact on the human development, on child development. So that's why the principle of heredity and environment. So if we, for example, if a child is kept in a different environment, so there will be a lot of difference between the two children. So definitely there will be an impact on that development of the particular children. So that's why it shows a lot of difference. So that's why the principle of heredity and environment is also one of the important principle in the growth and development. Next, the principle of maturation. Maturation is also one of the important factor. Maturation, the development of innate abilities gradually, slowly, is known as maturation. Maturation is nothing but the development of innate abilities sequentially or gradually or and systematically is known as maturation. So, maturation also plays a vital role in human development. So, that is why development it is also one of the principle that is known as principle of maturation, and also learning, principle of maturation and learning also. Learning is a very important fact. Learning is nothing but a modification of the behavior, it is a permanent change. So, that is why learning is also plays a vital role in human development. So, because the learning is also not the same in every person. Some may be slow learners, some may be active learners, some may be very clever, some may be gifted children, like that also there. And development is shows uniform pattern. So, coming to the development shows the uniform pattern. So, the pattern is there is a uniformic pattern in the development, like infancy stage, early childhood stage, pre-adolescence, post-adolescence and adulthood stage, and middle age and old age, like that. So, the pattern is same. So, it shows the same pattern, uniform pattern. There is no difference in person to person. It cannot be varies from person to person. That is why development shows the uniform pattern. And next, the principle of development from general to specific. So, the development is occurs from general characteristics to specific characters. General firstly the general characters will be developed, and next the specific characters will be developed. So, that is why development is from general to specific. And next, the principle of predictability of development. The predictability of development. The predictability of development is nothing but we will predict the development at various stages. For example, physical development at infancy stage, physical development at early childhood stage, physical development at adolescent stage, physical development at middle age, physical development at adulthood stage, and physical development at old age. So, like that the dimensions of development are we can predict. So, at any stage we can predict, like infancy stage we will predict the physical development, early childhood stage we will predict the physical development, and adolescence period we will predict the physical development. In the same manner we will predict the cognitive development, affective development, social development and moral development. So, that is likewise it is known as the principles of predictability of development. The development can be predictable. We can easily predict the development at various stages, like infancy, early childhood stage, middle age and old age. Various dimensions of developments like physical development, cognitive development and affective development and social development. So, that is why the principle of predictability of development, that is nothing but we will predict the development in various stages. And next, principle of variation in the rate of growth and development, principle of variation in the rate of growth and development. The growth and development will be different from different in the various various stages. The different growth and development is different. For example, if you see the development in the infancy stage, and then if you see the development in the early childhood stage, adolescent stage, different developmental we will found the different developmental stages. For example, if we see the height of a child, that is different from early child to teenage, adolescence. So that's why a lot of differences are there, like height, weight, cognitive development, affective development, social maturity, adjustment levels, personality levels, intelligence levels. Lot of factors are there. There is a lot of variations are there in various developmental stages. So that is known as principle of variation in the rate of growth and development. And next one is principle of development direction. So development proceeds into two direction levels. That's why you know a principle of development of direction. That is one is cephalocaudal direction and second one is proximo-distal direction. Cephalocaudal direction, proximo-distal direction. If the development proceeds from head to tail, it is known as cephalocaudal direction. If the development proceeds from central parts to other organs, it is known as proximo-distal direction. So that's why development shows the two directional, or development is two directional. If we say easily say that is development is two directional, that is cephalocaudal and proximo-distal direction. So cephalocaudal is nothing but if the development proceeds from head to tail, it is known as cephalocaudal. If the development of the child proceeds from central parts to other organs, it is known as proximo-distal direction. Next one is principle of integration. So integrating all the activities. So that is known as integration, principle of integration, and the principle of accumulation and recapitulation. Accumulation and recapitulation. This is also one of the important factors. Accumulation and integration and develop. Principle of think from concept to abstract. Thinking from concept to abstract. This is also one of the general principle of growth and development. And coming to the that is principle of outer component to outer control to inner control. That is also one of the important factor. So that is the major principles of growth and development. So coming to the once again we have to remind those principles. Development is a continuous process. Development is unique, and development shows the individual differences. Development is two directional. So these are the important points. Development is sequential. Development is two directional. Development is continuous process. Development shows the heredity and environment, like that. So by viewing all those things, we conclude that development is not the same in all stages. So development shows the difference in various stages, like infancy stage, early childhood stage, post childhood stage, adolescent stage, pre-adolescent stage and post-adolescent stage, middle age and old age. So there is a lot of difference in the various developmental process, like physical development, infancy stage, early childhood stage, like that. So this is very important question. So in the examination, according to the examination point of view, academic examination point of view, as well as competitive examination point of view, it is very important. And in the academic examination, it may be asked the meaning, nature, the meaning of growth and development and maturation, and also the difference between growth and development, also one of the important question and most important question. This is principles of growth and development. Development is sequential. Development is continuous process from womb to tomb. Development is shows the influence of heredity and environment, and development is two directional, that is cephalocaudal direction and proximo-distal direction. Development is cumulative, and development is also from general to specific. So this is the very important topic. In the academic, in the competitive examination like CTET or TET examination, the examiner may ask these points. They will take any one of the point. For example, development. If the development proceeds from head to tail, it is known as cephalocaudal direction, proximo-distal direction, or two directional, like that. None of these they will ask. So that's why every point is very important in the competitive examination. That's why the candidate must follow these points very carefully. And next one is under cognitive development. We have one important theory, that is Piaget theory of cognitive development. Before we are going to know about the Piaget theory of cognitive development, first of all we have to know the meaning of the cognitive development. Cognitive development is nothing but the knowledge of thinking, reasoning, imagination, perception, attention, retention and memory is known as cognitive development. Okay, or cognitive development or mental development. So anyway, in the examination the examiner may ask sometimes like cognitive development, sometimes it may be mental development also. So that's why many of the times they may ask the Piaget theory of the cognitive development. This is very important, because Jean Piaget is a Swiss psychologist. Jean Piaget belongs to Switzerland, is a Swiss psychologist, and he studied the cognitive development among the children. And cognitive development is the developmental process by which an infant become an intelligent person. So nothing but cognitive development is nothing but an infant can become an intelligent person. Why? Because there is no intelligence when the child is born. So after gradually the child will acquire the knowledge and acquire the skills in the society, or acquiring the skills through at home, at mother, at school, and also in the society. So that's why it is a gradual process, it is a continuous process. So cognitive development is the developmental process by an infant become an intelligent person, acquiring knowledge with growth and improving his or ability to think, learn, abstract. It means nothing but it means the development of intelligence, conscious, through and problem solving abilities, remembering, producing and understanding language, solving problems and making decisions. So cognitive development refers to nothing, it refers to language, whether it is a language development or thinking or reasoning or imagination or perception or attention or retention. So like that in the or memory, so or forgetting, whatever it may be. So it is known as cognitive development or attention or retention. So and problem solving abilities, development of problem solving abilities. So it nothing but it refers to a person perceives, thinkings, understanding of his or her world Okay, so that is known as cognitive development. And coming to what is Piaget's Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development, and what are the steps involved in the Piaget theory of cognitive development. Jean Piaget studied the relationship among the developmental stages among the children, and after studying the behavior, after studying the various developmental stages, he concluded to give the 5 stages, that is number 1 sensory motor stage, number 1 is sensory motor stage, and second one is pre-operational stage, and third one is concrete operational stage, and fourth one is formal operational stage. Sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. So these are the 4 important stages involved in the involved according to the Jean Piaget, the developmental stages among the children. So first we have to know the sensory motor stage. Sensory motor stage starts from 0 to 2 years, nothing but child birth to 2 years of age. And pre-operational stage. Pre-operational stage starts from 2 years to 3 years. So that is a pre-operational stage. And concrete operational stage is from 4 years to 2 to 3 years, and this is 7 to 11 years of age. And formal operational after 12 years. So according to Jean Piaget is a Swiss psychologist, he is a child psychologist. He studied the developmental stages among the children, and after studying the developmental stages, he gave 4 stages, namely that is sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. Sensory motor stage starts from 0 to 2 years, and second one is 2 to 4 years, and 7 to next stage is 7 to 11, and that is 12 years. So these are the stages that discussed in the today's development.